Hey everyone, I go by Elusive One. I'm the founder and director of the Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team and the Minnesota Bigfoot Conference. Heading back to an area where there's a possible teepee formation that I don't know what made it, but we do find these and other formations in areas where we've had Bigfoot activity. So with that being said, head back here because as I was uploading a couple of videos yesterday, and first, and thank you guys, I guess, for walking through the swamps, cattails and all that stuff. Thank you guys for liking the page. And the Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team, we've been around for 25 years now. And so just recently, I did an Instagram and a TikTok page. We're already on YouTube. We're already on Facebook. And so thank you guys who are just discovering us. So I'm heading back right now to this area where there's this formation. I haven't been back here since April 11th. And like I said, it dawned on me it's been a while. So I'd like to try to keep tabs on these formations and see what's going on in the area and stuff like that. If they're going up, if they're going down, what's going on, to be honest with you. We can't say for sure that is made by Bigfoot, but it is, we can say for sure it's whatever's doing them has to have thumbs. And so I'm heading back out there, and you guys stay tuned. I'll be there in a little while. All right, so I'm approaching the little possible formation, and being a field researcher and investigator of 25 years, we always have to rule out what could, oh look, some coral mushroom. You have to be self-disciplined. We can't just right off the bat say this was done by a Bigfoot. However, when we come to one of these possible formations and we see all these breakages and stuff like that, we start looking up in the trees and stuff and to see if anything could have fell into such a manner. And then we also start looking at the base to see if they were growing out. And we also look in the direction of where possible limbs or the limbs are pointing, because they usually, depending on the tree, kind of point up or straight out, as you can see, right? So we look at these little bumps and stuff like that to kind of give us the direction of the tree versus it being towards the tip or towards the trunk. Okay, so yeah, and then when we see something that's like this, of course we look around on the bottom and we look at something like this to see if it matches up where it was broken at up here, and I've done that and it does not. So taking all of that into consideration, it almost it makes me want to say that this was something with thumbs had to do with this. I'm not saying it was done by a Bigfoot. Then one might ask, why would a Bigfoot do something like this? Well, we don't know for sure, but we can only speculate. We have no solid evidence why or what they mean. But we do know that we and others have found these in areas where we've had wood knocking. I've had in this location, I personally have had wood knocking. I was with a guy when he was recording, and he picked one up on the camera, and we didn't know it at the time, but one of his viewers noticed it and slowed it down, and yeah, that thing was pretty dang fast. Now it's not on YouTube anymore. It was on YouTube, and the guy I'm talking about who did record it, we were with, has had Bigfoot activity out here, and he brought us out here in this location, and he went by the handle of Billy Jack, or the first Billy Jack. He was also on an episode of America Unearthed. And when they did an episode here in Minnesota, or Giants in Minnesota, I think it was season 3, episode 3. For those who want to check that out, his name is Ed Welch. And so yeah, this is some of the things that we have to do as investigators. Disciplined investigators. We can't just go off and say this was done by a Bigfoot. But however, when we look at if there's a root system there, we can tell that this has been on the ground for a while just by the way the moss is covering it. That kind of gives us a time frame of it being there. I did lift it up. There's not a root system there. Look how easy that was. And then, yeah, of course, we look around to see if it could have possibly have fell. I know the canopy is really thick right now, but it was not like this when I was doing this back in March or in April. But in doing all this and taking all this into consideration, then we can say, hey, well, you know what? Maybe something with thumbs did place that there. So when we are out here, again, we don't just automatically say that it was done by a Bigfoot, because, I mean, humans could also have done this too, right? But I have more of a question. Why would humans do something like this? What does this mean to a human? What does this mean to us? Why would we take the time to do something like that? As for, you know, a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, I mean, yeah, why would they do something? Maybe, and again, if we want to go along with speculation, or we could say, oh, it's territorial, oh, different clan members, different groups have different symbols, and this is what they mean to them and stuff like that. I mean, we could speculate and theorize all day, but when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, we really have no idea. It's just that we are finding these and other possible formations in the area where we have had activity. So it's still here, still standing, and yeah, you guys, thanks for joining us. Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team, Elusive One, signing off. Squatch on.